Have you ever wondered if you might have money or property out there that you've forgotten about? Many people are surprised to learn that unclaimed property, like old bank accounts, insurance payouts, or utility deposits, can accumulate in their name without them even realizing it. In this video, we'll walk you through the steps to find and claim what's rightfully yours. Whether it's a forgotten savings account from years ago or a refund you never received, it's easier than you think to check. Let's get started on the journey to potentially discovering some unexpected cash or assets in your name. Unclaimed property refers to financial assets or tangible items that have been left inactive or untouched by their rightful owner for a certain period. This can include things like dormant bank accounts, uncashed checks, insurance benefits, stocks, and even safe deposit box contents. When the institution holding these assets can't contact the owner, they're required by law to turn them over to the state. The state then holds onto these assets until the rightful owner comes forward to claim them. Understanding what qualifies as unclaimed property is the first step to knowing what you might be missing. You might be surprised at the variety of assets that can become unclaimed property. The most common types include savings or checking accounts that haven't been used in years, uncashed payroll or dividend checks, utility deposits, insurance policy proceeds, stocks, bonds, and even the contents of safe deposit boxes. Sometimes, even refunds from companies or government agencies can end up as unclaimed property. Knowing these categories can help you think back on any accounts or transactions you may have forgotten about over the years. There are many reasons why property becomes unclaimed. People move and forget to update their address, or they might change jobs and never cash their final paycheck. Sometimes, people simply forget about old accounts, or a loved one passes away without sharing details about their assets. Even small refunds from utilities or insurance companies can slip through the cracks. Over time, these amounts add up, and the institutions holding them are required to turn them over to the state if they remain unclaimed for a certain period. Each state in the U.S. has its own unclaimed property program. When a financial institution or company can't reach the owner of an asset for a set period, usually between 1 and 5 years, they're required to report and transfer the property to the state. The state then acts as a custodian, holding the property until the rightful owner or their heirs come forward. States maintain searchable databases and often make efforts to notify people, but it's ultimately up to you to check and claim your assets. The best place to begin your search for unclaimed property is your state's official unclaimed property website. Every state maintains its own database, and you can search by your name or business name. If you've lived in multiple states, be sure to check each one. These websites are free to use and are the most reliable source for finding forgotten assets. Avoid third-party sites that charge fees or ask for sensitive information. In addition to state databases, there are national resources that can help you search for unclaimed property across multiple states at once. The National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators, NAUPA, operates Missing Moneycom, a free website endorsed by most states. This tool allows you to search for your name nationwide, making it easier to find assets if you've moved around or had accounts in different places. When searching for unclaimed property, always use your full legal name, including any previous names or common misspellings. If you've changed your name due to marriage or other reasons, search under all variations. It's also helpful to try different combinations, such as using your middle initial or omitting it. This increases your chances of finding any assets that may have been reported under a different version of your name. Don't forget to search for unclaimed property in the names of close family members, especially those who have passed away. Heirs are often entitled to claim property left behind by relatives. You may need to provide proof of your relationship and legal documentation, but it's worth checking for any assets that could belong to your family. To search for and claim unclaimed property, you'll typically need to provide your full name, current and previous addresses, and sometimes your social security number. When filing a claim, you may also need to submit identification, proof of address, and documentation showing your connection to the property. Having these documents ready can speed up the process and help you avoid delays. Once you've found unclaimed property in your name, the next step is to file a claim with the state. This usually involves filling out an online form and uploading the necessary documents. Some states may require you to mail in copies of your identification or proof of ownership. After submitting your claim, the state will review your information, and if everything checks out, release the property to you. The process can take a few weeks to a few months, depending on the complexity of the claim. The time it takes to receive your unclaimed property can vary. Simple claims, like a forgotten bank account, may be processed in just a few weeks. More complex cases, such as those involving estates or multiple heirs, can take several months. States will contact you if they need additional information, so be sure to check your email or mail regularly during the process. Searching for and claiming unclaimed property through official state or national websites is completely free. Be wary of third-party companies or individuals who offer to help you for a fee. These services are unnecessary, as you can complete the process yourself at no cost. Always use official resources to protect your personal information and avoid scams. Unfortunately, there are scams targeting people searching for unclaimed property. Fraudsters may contact you claiming to help recover your assets for a fee or ask for sensitive information. Always verify that you're using an official state or national website. Never share your social security number or banking details with anyone who contacts you unexpectedly. If you never claim your property, the state will continue to hold it indefinitely in most cases. Some states may eventually liquidate certain assets, like stocks or the contents of safe deposit boxes, but the proceeds are still available for you to claim. There's usually no deadline, so you can search and claim your property at any time. Businesses can also have unclaimed property, such as uncashed vendor checks, customer refunds, or unused credit balances. If you own or manage a business, it's a good idea to periodically check for any assets that may have been reported in your company's name. The process for claiming business property is similar to that for individuals, but you may need to provide additional documentation to prove your authority. If you've ever left a job and didn't receive your final paycheck or had a retirement account you forgot about, those funds could be waiting for you as unclaimed property. It's common for payroll checks, bonuses, or even stock options to go unclaimed if an employer can't reach you after you leave. Be sure to check for any assets tied to your employment history. Life insurance policies, health insurance refunds, or other benefits can also become unclaimed property if the beneficiary can't be located. If you or a family member had insurance policies in the past, check with the insurer and your state's unclaimed property database. You might discover benefits you didn't know existed. When you set up utility services, you may have paid a deposit that was never refunded. If you moved and didn't provide a forwarding address, those funds could be sitting unclaimed. Utility companies are required to turn over unclaimed deposits to the state after a certain period. It's worth checking for any deposits you might have forgotten about. Safe deposit boxes can hold valuable items, and if the rental fees go unpaid or the owner can't be contacted, the contents may be turned over to the state. States will inventory and store these items, and you can search for them just like cash assets. If you or a relative ever rented a safe deposit box, it's worth checking for unclaimed contents. Stocks, bonds, and other securities can also become unclaimed property if the owner can't be located. This often happens when people move or forget about old investment accounts. The state will hold the value of these assets, and you can claim them by providing proof of ownership. Be sure to check for any investments you may have lost track of. Sometimes, companies or government agencies issue refunds or rebates that never reach the recipient. If you moved or the check was lost in the mail, those funds could be waiting for you as unclaimed property. Always check for any refunds or rebates you might have missed, especially if you've recently changed addresses. Children can also have unclaimed property, such as savings bonds or custodial accounts set up by relatives. If you're a parent or guardian, search for your child's name as well. You may need to provide documentation proving your relationship and authority to claim the property on their behalf. If a loved one has passed away, their unclaimed property may still be available to heirs. Executors or family members can search for and claim these assets by providing legal documents, such as a death certificate and proof of relationship. It's a good way to ensure that nothing is left behind or forgotten. After submitting a claim, most state websites allow you to track the status online. You'll receive updates if additional information is needed or when your claim is approved. Keeping an eye on your claim status helps ensure you don't miss any important communications and can speed up the process if you need to provide more documents. To maximize your chances of finding unclaimed property, search regularly and use all possible name variations. Keep records of your past addresses and any accounts you've opened. Don't forget to check for family members, businesses, and even old utility accounts. Being thorough and persistent can help you uncover assets you didn't know existed. One of the best ways to prevent property from becoming unclaimed in the future is to keep your contact information up to date with banks, employers, and other institutions. Whenever you move or change your name, notify all relevant organizations. This simple step can save you time and prevent assets from slipping through the cracks. Staying organized with your financial records makes it easier to keep track of your assets and spot anything that might go unclaimed. Keep a list of all your accounts, insurance policies, and investments, along with contact information for each institution. Review your records annually to ensure nothing is overlooked. Many people aren't aware that unclaimed property programs exist or how easy it is to check for forgotten assets. Share this information with friends and family so they can benefit too. The more people know about these resources, the more likely it is that lost property will find its way back to its rightful owner. Finding unclaimed property or forgotten bank accounts in your name is easier than you might think. By regularly checking official state and national databases, keeping your information updated, and staying organized, you can ensure that no assets are left behind. Take a few minutes today to search. You might be surprised at what you find. Remember, it's your money, and claiming it is your right.